Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Miss Julia's English Club. I'm Emma, your host, and oh my goodness, today's topic is one that I genuinely could not sleep thinking about last night.
Hey everyone, I'm Jake, and I'm a same. I actually sent you a voice note at like midnight because I kept finding new things about this story.
You did! I woke up to 3 voice notes, but honestly, worth it, because today we are talking about something that is breaking the internet right now. We are talking about loneliness, the fact that the world is facing what health experts are now officially calling a loneliness epidemic.
And when I say epidemic, I don't mean a small problem. The World Health Organization, the US Surgeon General, researchers across Europe, they are all saying the same thing. Loneliness is now one of the biggest threats to human health globally.
Bigger than obesity, bigger than smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's what some studies are claiming. The health impact of chronic loneliness is that serious.
Wow. And I think what really hits me is we are more connected than ever. Smartphones, social media, video calls, we can reach anyone, anywhere, instantly. And yet people have never felt more alone.
Isn't that just the great paradox of our time? The more connected we are digitally, the more disconnected we feel emotionally.
Paradox. Great word, Emma. A paradox is a situation that seems contradictory or impossible, but is actually true. Like, how can the most connected generation in history be the loneliest?
And it's not just older people living alone. That's the stereotype, right? The elderly person with no visitors. But actually, studies show that young people between 18 and 25 are among the loneliest groups on the planet right now.
Which honestly shocked me when I first read that, because you imagine young people as social, out at parties, surrounded by friends.
Right, but a lot of that is performance, isn't it? Like, you post the photo of the party, but you go home feeling empty. You have 500 followers, but nobody to call when things get hard.
Oh, that is so real. I think there's a difference between being surrounded by people and actually feeling seen, actually feeling known by someone.
Yes, and that distinction is so important. Surface level connection versus deep, meaningful connection. One fills your feed, the other fills your soul.
That's almost poetic, Emma.
I have my moments. Okay, so why is this happening? Because I think understanding the cause helps us talk about it more intelligently, in English and in life.
Right, so a few things. First, the way we live has changed dramatically. People move cities, move countries for work. Extended families, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, all living nearby. That used to be normal. Now it's rare.
The village model. Humans evolved to live in communities of maybe 150 people who all knew each other. Now we live in cities of millions and don't know our next door neighbor's name.
That is wild when you put it that way. And then work culture, long working hours, remote work. Remote work has been amazing for flexibility, but it removed the accidental social moments, the coffee break chat, the lunch with a colleague.
The watercooler conversation. That's actually an English expression. Watercooler conversation. It means the casual and formal chats that happen in an office around the water cooler. Those small moments of human connection that we maybe didn't appreciate enough.
And now people work from home in silence and realize, oh, I miss people. I miss the small talk.
Which small talk gets a bad reputation, doesn't it? People say, oh, it's so superficial. I hate small talk. But actually, small talk is the foundation of connection. It's how relationships begin.
Totally. You can't jump straight to deep, meaningful conversation with a stranger. You start with, oh, the weather's terrible today. And then, slowly, over time, it deepens.
Exactly. And for our English learners, this is actually really practical. Small talk is a skill, and it's one of the most important social English skills you can develop.
Absolutely. Things like, how's your week been? Did you catch the game last night? Have you tried that new coffee place? Simple, but they open doors.
They open doors. I love that. Okay, so what are people actually doing about the loneliness epidemic? Because I don't want this to just be doom and gloom.
Good point. So there are some genuinely hopeful things happening. The UK actually appointed a minister for loneliness a few years ago, the first country in the world to do that, to have a government minister specifically focused on this issue.
Which, at first, I thought that sounded strange, a minister for loneliness, but actually it makes complete sense. If loneliness is a public health crisis, it deserves a policy response.
And there are grassroots movements too. Community cafes where anyone can walk in and have a free cup of tea and a chat. Men's sheds, these are spaces where men, who statistically are less likely to talk about feelings, can come together around a shared activity like woodwork or gardening.
Oh, I love the men's sheds movement because it's so clever. It doesn't say, come talk about your feelings. It says, come make something. And the talking just happens naturally.
It meets people where they are. That's good design. That's empathy.
That's empathy. Okay, vocabulary time, because we've had some absolute gems today.
Starting with epidemic, normally used for diseases, but now used for any widespread social problem. An epidemic of loneliness.
Paradox, a situation that seems contradictory but is actually true.
Chronic, long-lasting, persistent. Chronic loneliness means loneliness that continues for a long period of time, not just feeling lonely for a day.
Grassroots, coming from ordinary people at a community level, not from governments or big organizations. A grassroots movement.
Watercooler conversation. Casual, informal chat, often used to describe office small talk.
And empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. One of the most important human qualities, and one of the most important qualities in a language learner too, actually.
Oh, why do you say that?
Because to really understand another language, you have to understand the culture, the feelings, the perspective of the people who speak it. That takes empathy.
Wow, I never thought of it that way. That's beautiful.
Okay, today's comment challenge. Here it is. Do you ever feel lonely even when you're surrounded by people? What do you think is the best cure for loneliness? Write your answer below. Be honest, be thoughtful, and use some of today's vocabulary.
B1 and B2, 4 to 6 sentences. C1 and C2, write a structured response. Try using "it could be argued," "the evidence suggests," or "one of the most significant factors is."
And please, if this episode resonated with you, share it. Because honestly, sharing a podcast episode with someone is itself a small act of connection, and the world needs more of that right now.
It really does. Okay, subscribe to Miss Julia's English Club right here on YouTube. Every single day, a brand new episode.
Like the video, hit that notification bell, and we will see you in the comments.
For me, Jake.
And me, Emma, thank you for being here. You are never alone when you're part of Miss Julia's English Club. See you tomorrow.